Hey everybody, this is a guide to character creation in Numenera in 5 minutes or less. Now Numenera is the new role-playing game designed by Monte Cook, who decided that instead of the traditional race and class for every character, he wanted them all to be described with a simple sentence. I'm an adjective, noun, who verbs, like maybe I'm a rugged nano who bears a halo of fire, or I'm a cheeky monkey who flings poo. Every character is a descriptor, a type, and a focus. That's all you have to do to make a character, which seems pretty simple, but actually the game is very, very complex and mathematical. So let's go ahead and take a look at character type, which is the first choice you have to make and probably the biggest choice. Character types come in 3 forms. We have a glaive, who is kind of like your fighter. We've got your mage style, and a jack is kind of a mix of a glaive and a nano, but also has some rogue abilities of their own. Glaive might take thrust, ward, pierce. Ward is an enabler, which means it's always active. The other 2 are actions. I need to activate them by using might points. You'll notice in the character creation section there are these things called pools, and they are the key to understanding how this game works. So we need to figure out what's up with these pools. So the 3 pools are might, intellect, and speed. Let's go ahead and assign some numbers to them: 7, 19, and 14. In order to understand how this game works, we need to know what the heck these pool points are used for. So they do 3 things. Number 1, they fuel your abilities. This thrust from earlier takes 1 might point. If I only have 7 might, and there's only so many times I can do this before my pool runs to 0, and that's a problem. Second thing that it does is it allows me to use effort. This game is all about difficulties and target numbers. When the GM gives me a difficulty, I multiply it by 3. That's my target number. That's what I need to roll on a d20 in order to find out if I've succeeded or not. 12 is not so good, less than 50-50. So maybe I want to spend some effort. Effort reduces the difficulty by 1 for any action I choose, but it requires 3 points from that pool. So if I want to make sure this thrust hits, I spend 1 to activate the thrust, and I use 3 more to expend an effort. Now my difficulty has been reduced, makes it more likely that I'm going to succeed. However, losing 4 from my pool brings me closer and closer to 0, which is a problem because we also use these pool points to not die like an idiot. Let's take a look at a quick example. Let's go ahead and say I'm using that thrust from earlier to attack an enemy, but the enemy fights back because I don't manage to kill him, dealing 5 might damage. Losing 6 from my pool is going to leave me at 1. That's going to get me closer and closer to 0, which is really, really, really bad. As long as all my pools are above 0, I am hale and healthy, which is great. Anytime I roll a 17 through 20 on a roll, I get some cool benefit. But as soon as one of these hits 0, now I'm impaired. It takes me extra points from my pool to use effort, and 17 through 20 just does +1 damage. Not so great. Another one hits 0, I'm debilitated. All I can do is move, and that's only if my speed pool is above 0. And of course, once that hits 0, we're in a lot of problem. So, the key to this game is kind of balancing, keeping your pools above 0, but still using cool abilities. We have a couple tricks on our side. One of those is an edge. Now, an edge, if I have a might edge of 1, that reduces the amount of points I need to use to do anything might related. So thrust takes 1, might edge reduces that to 0. Edges are awesome. Quick example, putting all these things together. GM says I want to climb a wall. All right, great. It's difficulty 3. 3's not bad, only takes a 9, but I want to make sure I do it, so I expend an effort. GM lets me know if I have a rope, which is an asset, I can reduce it by another level. It's like getting some effort for free. Awesome, I got rope. I have a might edge of 1. So here's how the math is going to break down. Asset plus effort means the difficulty is only a 1. I lose 2 points from my might pool, 3 from the effort, and then subtract 1 from the edge. All I got to do is roll a 3. Pretty likely I'm going to succeed there. Our example from earlier, the quick example, I've got a might pool of 7, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I have an edge of 1. I'm going to thrust at that enemy, which is good. So I haven't spent any might yet at all. Difficulty is 4 here for this villain, and that's kind of a troubling thing, but instead I want to do as much damage as I can. So one-handed weapon deals 4. Thrust is going to add 1 to it, and instead of reducing the difficulty, I'm going to expend an effort to deal an extra 3 damage, costing me 3 might. So now I'm looking at a total might cost of 3, but I do a total of 8 damage on the hit. Now if I miss, I've lost 3 might. I might be in a lot of trouble in the retaliation. So here's how it's going to go. Here is my general theory of character creation. Make sure you pick something cool. That's what this game is all about. But don't minimize your pools. It brings you closer and closer to death. For example, if I'm looking at a nano who has an intellect pool of 20, craft illusions all day, but did you know that a 2-handed spear using Pierce can cause 7 points of damage in 1 hit? Being impaired is really, really bad in this game. Avoid it if possible. Anyway, have fun playing Numenera. Play nanos. Don't minimize your pools, and thanks for watching.